In this video, I'm talking about how to heal diabetes in as little as 7 days. Sounds too good to be true, but I've seen this happen with many different individuals. You just gotta follow the program. And so we're gonna start with good nutrition. We wanna take out all sugar, grains, as well as bad fats, all of our seed oils, corn oil, soybean, safflower, cottonseed, peanut oil. Get rid of all those bad fats, trans fats, all the ultra processed foods, and we stick with really a whole food based diet. And so when we're looking at nutrition, we want all of our meals. We want protein to be the priority in all of our meals. We want at least 30 to 60 grams of protein per meal. That seems like a lot of protein. That protein is gonna help stabilize your blood sugar and help you feel satiated. So you don't feel like you've got cravings or hunger or blood sugar issues. You actually feel really stable. And that allows you to go longer without food, and your body is able to burn fat for fuel because it's able to bring insulin down. Every time we eat, even a low carb meal, we're gonna have some level of insulin release. In order to create insulin sensitivity, we need to reduce the amount of times we eat. The only way we do that is through a really good blood sugar stabilizing diet. So we prioritize protein. When we think about protein, 1 ounce, for example, of beef is about 8 grams of protein. Same with chicken, right? Or something along those lines. So you just kind of add it up as far as the amount of ounces that you need. You also want to make sure you get healthy fats, ideally getting grass-fed organic animal products as much as possible because they have more nutrients, less toxins, okay? And that's always important. We want nutrition that is full of nutrients and is low in toxins. So grass-fed organic animal products, if possible, that's what you're focusing on. Also, other healthy fats are going to be things like avocados, high polyphenol, extra virgin olive oil, pasture-raised eggs, grass-fed butter, all good sources of healthy fat. And then we want to make sure that we're getting a lot of fiber, colorful fruits and vegetables. In particular, really emphasizing vegetables, low carbohydrate vegetables. So not our root vegetables, but instead, our dark green leafy vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, asparagus, cabbage, celery, cucumbers, right? All those types of things can be really, really helpful. They provide colors, bell peppers. They're lower in carbohydrates, so they're gonna be really, really good and nourishing for our body. And so that's what we wanna focus on with our meals. We wanna do zero snacking, right? So 2 to 3 meals a day. In the beginning, we start with 2 to 3 meals a day. As we start to feel more satiated, meaning we can go longer without food, we take it from 3 down to 2 meals a day, okay? And then we also compress the eating window. And so if we can take our eating window, let's say you eat, at 8 a.m., 12 p.m., and 6 p.m., in the evening, if we can compress that eating window to where you're eating, at 12 and 6, for example, now we're gonna get more time without food going in our body, less insulin, and as insulin comes down, we start burning fat for fuel, we start stabilizing blood sugar more effectively. So as we get more satiated, the desire to eat is gonna be lower. We're gonna be able to go longer periods of time without food. You may even notice that going on a 1 meal a day or a really tight eating window, maybe a 3 to 4 hour eating window, that you actually feel better doing that. I've seen a lot of people with diabetes that after a few days, they noticed they just felt significantly better by following this blood sugar stabilizing nutrition plan, that they could compress their eating window to 6 hours and maybe even 4 hours. So you gotta experiment with yourself and see how your body tolerates it. Obviously, always a good idea to talk with your medical doctor about any of the things that I'm talking about. Always a good idea to run that through your doctor or your health care practitioner and have somebody managing your case. But I've seen this time and time again. Number 2 is movement, going out, getting a lot of walking in, right? I recommend walking 10 to 20 minutes, 3 times a day. So getting out and moving, and this could just be in your office. You might be moving around. Ideally, going outside and doing it is best, but you may not have the availability. But making sure you're getting a lot of walking in throughout the day is really key. I would also recommend doing strength training. So doing some sort of resistance training and doing that a few times a week, right? In fact, I recommend doing upper body one day, and then the next day you do lower body. The following day you do upper body, the next day you do lower body, roughly about 20 minutes or so a day. You don't need a long period of time to do resistance training, but when you're doing upper body, you're doing push exercises followed by pull exercises. When you're doing lower body, you wanna do compound exercises like squats, deadlifts, lunges. Those types of exercises are gonna really work your large muscle mass, your largest amount of muscle mass, and then your muscles are actually gonna lower your blood sugar naturally and lower your insulin. They become like a sponge, your muscles do, pulling in more sugar into the muscles and out of the bloodstream, which lowers your blood sugar and allows you to heal diabetes, right? Your blood sugar now becomes more normal, more stabilized. Your insulin levels become more normal, more stabilized. Also, having stronger, more metabolically active muscles will turn up fat burning in your body. So you'll be able to burn off visceral fat, the dangerous visceral fat that surrounds your organs, and will allow you to get leaner and have more energy. So that's really key. Number 3 is before your meals, have a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in roughly about 4 to 6 ounces of water. That dilutes it just enough that apple cider vinegar will actually lower the glycemic impact of the meals you're consuming. So when you consume a meal, the blood sugar impact goes down. So your blood sugar does not increase the same way it does without the apple cider vinegar. So that's a great approach for helping with blood sugar and a simple, easy thing that you can do. Also, number 4 is really focusing on good sleep and breathing. Some people are doing these nutrition principles, but their sleep cycle is really bad, and they actually are dealing with sleep apnea, and they're a mouth breather, and that's causing more stress in their system, not allowing them to get their blood sugar and their insulin levels down. So one thing you can do is mouth taping, just tape over your mouth, right? Which will force you to become a nasal breather. And then throughout the day, really trying to do your best to breathe from your nose. Really try to be intentional about nasal breathing. And at night, tape your mouth. That way you're forced to breathe out of your nose. And that can really help with overall breathing. When you breathe out of your nose, you get higher amounts of what we call nasal nitric oxide, which brings more blood flow to your brain. You get more deep restorative sleep, and that's going to reduce hunger, cravings. It's going to help stabilize your blood sugar and your insulin levels. If you have sleep apnea, you can get a CPAP machine or go get a sleep study to see if you have sleep apnea. And when people get the CPAP going, they sleep so much better and they're able to heal metabolic syndrome, diabetes, things like that so much more effectively. So get that addressed, really prioritize good sleeping and good breathing habits throughout the day, good nasal breathing habits. Very important. Number 5 is sun exposure. Ideally, if you're able to do your activity outside, you're walking, you're getting good sun exposure. Try to get as much sun on your body, your whole body, as you can, at least 15 to 20 minutes a day, right? Obviously, you don't want to sunburn, but if you're able to get good quality sun that gives you a little bit of a tan or, just browns your skin a little bit more, then that's actually good, right? You don't want to sunburn, but up until that point, the sun is actually benefiting your body. It's actually charging up your mitochondria. Your mitochondria will produce the energy in the cells. The mitochondria also burn fat for fuel. And so the better your mitochondria are working, the better you're gonna burn fat, the lower your insulin levels are gonna be, the better your blood sugar is gonna be. So sun is a really powerful tool to help support mitochondrial health. So those are really the 5 keys. Bonuses, here's a couple bonus things. Cold showers. Now you don't have to take a full cold shower, like a 5-minute cold shower. I'm not asking you to do that, but just finish your shower. The last 30 seconds of your shower, turn it on cold. And as the temperature starts lowering, start pumping your muscles back and forth like this. And that will help activate cold shock proteins, which will break down damaged proteins in your system, will actually rev up your ability to turn your visceral fat into what we call brown fat, more metabolically active fat. It will also boost human growth hormone. It can boost fat-burning hormones like testosterone in your body that make you feel a lot better, and you release more endorphins, which give you a great mental health benefit, make you feel a lot better. So finish your showers with 30 to 60 seconds of cold water, and that can make a big impact. If you have access to a cold plunge, that's a great idea too. Doing a cold plunge for 1 to 2 minutes can be really, really powerful for your overall metabolism. So that's a great thing. Second bonus is using coffee or green tea in the morning. Now, many of you guys are gonna be happy about that. You like drinking coffee anyways. I'm gonna recommend drinking that coffee black, okay? So drinking it black, not adding anything to it, but coffee actually helps ramp up autophagy. It activates something called AMP kinase, which will enhance fat burning. Coffee also has chlorogenic acid and caffeic acid, which helps support good blood sugar stability and insulin sensitivity. So coffee can be really helpful. If you don't like coffee, you can do green tea and get many of those same benefits, very anti-aging benefits. Green tea has catechin antioxidants that are really, really powerful, very anti-aging for your body and very good for blood sugar stability. So try utilizing green tea or coffee, drinking it without anything in it. Next bonus is adding MCT oil. Particularly the best form is a C8 only MCT oil, and adding that with all your meals. Start small. If you've never used MCT oil, you can start with like a half a teaspoon with each meal to make sure that you are, if you take too much MCT oil too quickly, you can have what we call diarrhea pants, right? Or loose stools. So you don't want that. So we start small, half a teaspoon, and then we can gradually move up to a teaspoon and then up to a tablespoon with a meal. MCT oil has been shown to help support ketone production, which lowers inflammation in the brain. It actually reduces cravings, helps stabilize blood sugar, and improves insulin sensitivity. So adding in that MCT oil will help prevent overeating, will help prevent cravings, and will help stimulate more fat burning. So very simple, easy thing to do. Look for a C8 only MCT oil and start adding that to your meals. Start small, gradually work up. And then finally, last bonus would be different supplements. Taking a really good high quality multivitamin that has a couple key minerals. Really important that we have B complex vitamins, right? Particularly things like methylfolate, methylcobalamin, which is your methylated form of B12, P5P, which is your active form of vitamin B6. Those are all really important. Also magnesium is key. Zinc is really important, as well as chromium and vanadium. And so you want to make sure you've got good doses of chromium and vanadium, ideally 100 milligrams or more, right, would be really helpful there. And so a good high quality multivitamin would be really important. Also optimizing your vitamin D. Ideally you're getting it from the sun, but you may need more, right? And so I recommend taking 1,000 international units per 25 pounds of body weight to help optimize your vitamin D, particularly if you're not able to get much sun or it's not the right time of year to get the sun. Very important that we're optimizing vitamin D levels, and that will be really helpful. And then finally, another great supplement that I found is a combination of berberine with alpha lipoic acid. Berberine and alpha lipoic acid. Typically about 500 milligrams or so of berberine, 500 to let's say 1,000 milligrams twice a day of berberine, and somewhere around 100 to 500 milligrams of alpha lipoic acid taken twice a day, somewhere in that range. That combination has been shown to be very helpful for improving insulin sensitivity and lowering blood sugar and helping support and reduce cravings and overeating and help you accomplish your goals when it comes to blood sugar stability and insulin sensitivity. So that can be really helpful as well. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Please pass it on to anybody that you know and that you care about. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out my channel, browse the various videos that I've done on similar topics, and also make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button. That way you get notified whenever I put up a new video training. Thanks so much for being a part of our community here, and I really hope you enjoy the videos that we're putting out on a regular basis. Be blessed.